Cheers, man. That was a good one. We'll try one more, right? that's great skill. That must have taken absolutely a lot of work. I mean, from classical and flamenco guitar to piano. Hi, Neil. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for joining the channel for this stream. Thank you, Ian. That's a great compliment. Thank you so much. minor. Yes, it's a rock one. Okay, so Ian, I'm going to talk in my language, mother language, here on because I have a few questions. Um, how do you visualize a fretboard while doing this? Right. You have asked a question. Okay, I'll try to answer in English. Uh, so it's basically I visualize triads first, right? I look at the chords. If I take this track, the chords are shown while the video goes on, right? So once the chord changes, I definitely hear it when the change happens because I have studied the chords in the scale and all that stuff. So it's basically thinking about chord tones and stuff like that as it happens. And when you take modes, I think about modes too. When you take modes, it's just three major scales and three minor scales, right? Except in the root major scale, if we'll take C for example, it's just all natural notes, and the fourth scale, which is the if you take C, that would be F, right? F major scale would have a sharp 4 note instead of a natural fourth, and the fifth one would have a flat 7 instead of a major seventh or a natural seventh. And in minor scales, the sixth would be all natural minor scale notes, and the second chord or the second scale, the Dorian would have a natural sixth instead of a flat sixth, and the Phrygian would have like a flat second, right, or flat ninth, as some call it. So I know all that. I have studied all that, and I try to improvise on that knowledge. And when sometimes when the third chord happens, let's say the song is on A minor, which means the parent or the relative major is C, right? It should have an A minor song should have all chords that's in the C major scale. And in C major scale, the third chord is an A minor, right? but sometimes it might have a E major or a E dominant seventh. That means so if the chord was E minor, as in C major chords, third chord of the C major, it would have been just the Phrygian mode, right? So now that the change is it has changed into a dominant chord or the dominant seventh chord, the minor third has to be shifted made into a major third. So that's called usually called a Phrygian dominant scale. I'll try to spell out the intervals, right? Give me a moment to switch to another sound. Right, it would have a, say E, Phrygian dominant would have a root, flat second, major third, perfect fourth, fifth, perfect fifth, flat sixth, right? Flat seventh, and the root. So if I see a dominant in a minor scale, a minor song, I would try to play something in Phrygian, right? Phrygian dominant, I mean. Okay, opinion on Samdru Gimhana. He's a very good guitarist. That's my opinion. He has practiced a lot. Um, I mean, when you learn something, let's say the modes or the theory part of it, you just try to process and grab much as you can. Make it first, try to make it just bare bones simple, right? That's why I choose triads first. Then I try to add. That's the way I learned from my teachers, right? Pepper Brown, and now I'm learning from a guy called Christian. Oh, yeah, his channel name is LOG. So they try to teach just triads, playing with the triads, right? Try like maybe just a 5/1 backing track, let's say G and C, and try to play just triad something, create something out of just those two triads, and keep adding chords. Right, just think C major, just take two chords like the fifth chord and the first chord, and try to make a loop or just a backing track of 5/1, find a backing track, and try to create something out of triads. And after you get comfortable with that, you can play triads all over the fretboard, right? If you know all your notes on the fretboard, which is way different from a piano, right? A single note can be found all over the fretboard, right? In various places. For example, let's say take a G. You can find a G here, and an open G on the third string. Here, 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 here. So it's kind of random, but after you learn to visualize the note system or the fretboard, you start seeing patterns, right? So once you get that, if you just create a triad shape like this, you can play it everywhere, right? Sorry. And you have to You have to be aware that the third string and the second string is tuned differently from the other strings. Keep that in mind. So the shapes kind of shifts when you come to those strings. So just practice on triads, then try to build from that. Start adding intervals, right? Like the pentatonic notes, right? You start adding, just if you take major scales, what are the pentatonic notes? The second one and the sixth one. Sixth. Try to create something out of those in pentatonic scales. And the same theory applies, right? If you know one shape, and if you know, let's say, a C note all over the fretboard, and you take the shape, you can play this same shape all over the fretboard, except when you come to second and third strings, you have to shift a bit. Right? So that's what you should do. Then after that, try adding the rest of the full major scale, right? But don't add both notes at the same time. Just add the fourth first, then the seventh. Yeah, then it gets easier, right? Then you know the basic notes of the one chord or the root scale. Then after that, just take a static minor chord backing track. Then try playing the Dorian scale, which means instead of the minor sixth or the flat sixth note, you're adding the natural sixth note. So that's the process. That's how I do it, at least. Yeah, you have to after all that, you have to try applying stuff into the songs, right? Just maybe play a karaoke song, and improvise over that after you know the chord structure. Just play basic pentatonic licks first and add stuff like that, and improve from there on. That's true. That's very good advice from Joe Bonamassa there. I didn't quite get that, Nadil. What do you mean? If you are referring to what I just did over backing tracks, that's like 20 years of practicing and stuff. And another thing, you should do a lot of covers, right? Find pieces you like, solos, rhythm, guitar stuff, and try to copy stuff. You have to learn through the masters. It's not just enough learning theory and stuff. You have to know how the language has been spoken by the masters, right? So covering and copying stuff is very important, like learning licks, songs, solos, stuff like that. I mean, I learned to this day, right? First thing I do when I wake up is learn something. let's try another backing track maybe. I have to raise my volume, right? It's kind of boring. So few more questions. Also, you said that you can figure chords out pretty easily. How do you go about doing that? Do you remember all the chords in scale by their feel? Yeah, kind of, right? Let's say, yeah, let me give you an example on that. First, you have to, let's say you're practicing your major scale, right? In any key. I mean, let's take B flat for example, or the C. So if you take every other third note, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The first three notes make the chord, right? Or an arpeggio. Now you got a C arpeggio, or the chord notes of the chord, right? C major chord. So after that, you do the same on the second scale point. You have to stick to the scale notes, right? The parent scale notes, which means C major note scale, right? Then you take 1, 3, 5. You get the second chord of the scale, which is a D minor, and then the E minor. You keep doing the same for next few chords. E minor. So first one is C major, second one is D minor, third one is E minor, fourth one is F major, fifth one is G major, yeah. Sixth is the relative minor, which means A minor. Then you get the diminish on B, then back to C major, right? Right. So after you practice that, just try to build a chord scale out of that, right? C major, D minor, E minor, then F major, sorry, G major, A minor, and the B diminished, right? try, then you should just try playing just the major scales, right? Major chords, I mean. And try to figure out which numbers they appear in the scale note, the numbers of the scale notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one, just try to number the chords. Let's just try to number the chords, right? First one is a major, second one is a minor, third one is a minor, fourth one is a major, fifth one is a major, sixth one is a minor, which is the relative minor, and seventh is a diminished, right? So that is consistent for all, in whatever key you choose to practice, right? You just build the major scale of a key, and this same pattern applies to every key you do it in, right? Once you know the formula, it's always the major scale, major chords are always going to be on the first, fourth, and fifth. Minor chords are going to be on the second, third, and sixth, and the seventh is going to be a diminished, right? That's how the major scale works. You have to know your major scale very well, man. So once you figure that out, just try to feel the changes. Just take two chords and memorize what you feel when you change into them, right? From let's say from going right, like let's just say I'm going from first chord to fourth, right? Also, you should know the patterns, right? If you have a major chord on the first and fourth positions, and you take if you know the names of the chords, you will find that the fourth chord, the root of the fourth chord note is right below the first chord root, right? And fifth would be two steps further, right, to the right. Yeah. So there's a pattern like that you should learn. And if you go to the lower strings, the same is inverted, right? If the major is on the fifth, the root of the major is on the fifth string, you will find the fifth chord right above it, and two steps to the left you will find the fourth chord. So if I play 1 4 5, 1 4 5, and take it to the below strings, this is an unusual chord shape, but you should try it, like, right? What I'm doing is just taking this D shape and holding the notes on the nut with my first finger, making my first finger basically into a nut, right? Or a capo. So try to feel what it's like moving from a chord to another. Right? Try to memorize the feeling of the vibrations from 1 to 4, from 1 to 5. So all the movements are different, right? You will feel them in a different way. So once you kind of memorize that for a while, you will start noticing these connections in songs. Then at that point, you know your you have built your ear to chords, right? I hope that helps, at least. I mean, instead of just knowing the theory and the notes behind chords, you should also feel the changes, right? Right. A lot of guys, I think of it as just numbers, right? Going from one chord to two chord. But what you feel when you move from one chord to another chord, going from first one chord to the sixth chord is different from going from one chord to the fourth chord. So you can make like, I don't know, 50 combinations out of all, more than that probably, from all seven chords, right? Going from 6 to 4, 1 to 4, 2 to 4, and all kinds of stuff, right? And don't try to do a lot of the same things during one practice session, right? Just stick to one thing for a while. That is very important, because you you can do it with your fingers and stuff, right? But yeah, it gets fatigued a lot faster than your muscles, right? So you should definitely take breaks when you do uh, things related to ear training. So guys, I hope you learned something out of this session. I'll see you again soon. Cheers and goodbye.